Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Bakir. Well, it's turned out to be yet another flying session. In fact, the Nifty has closed above or exactly at 11,300. We have seen substantial gains with 1.5% advance for the Nifty 50, and a lot of this is on account of some of your private sector banks. TCS is right at the top. In fact, one of the heaviest weighted counters after something like a Reliance Industries or HDFC Bank. And Ultratech Cement, of course, reacting to earnings. We have Grasim advancing, and Tata Motors also looking at gains. So we do have gains all round. We're going to talk about the cement sector in just a bit, but on the losing end, we also have some weakness in ICICI Bank. Yesterday's gainers, today's loser, Asian Paints. Nestle India, a tad weak ahead of earnings, and Infratel reacting to earnings down around 1.6%. But the momentum in today's day of trade on the benchmarks is clearly with those stocks which advanced. Let's move on and talk about the broader markets, and that has been a lot that has happened in the broader markets. Besides names such as MCX, which have been surging over the past few days, there are a whole host of companies out there which are doing very well in trade, and we're building on the kind of momentum that we have seen over the past few weeks. A lot of these names are the usual ones, some of them unusual ones, of course. And in terms of losers, we don't have too much going for. But once again, a little bit of reversal from the advanced decline ratio that we saw yesterday. 3 gainers, so 2 losers on the NSE 500, and we do have Thyrocare Technologies, Prestige Estates, something like a GMR Infra, MCX, as I was already mentioning, Birlasoft, Bharat Rasayan, and Advanced Enzyme, all advancing in trade with good momentum. And on the losing end, we do have, Maharashtra Seamless, Ashoka Bilcon, Heritage Foods, and Hathway Cable under pressure. Hathway Cable locked in another lower circuit. Edelweiss Financial Services is also down around 4.8%. But momentum is with those stocks which are advancing. To talk a little more in detail about pockets that stood out, let's get in our markets editor, Neeraj Shah, for his thoughts on how things are playing out. Neeraj, good afternoon. Okay, I think, we're just Neeraj.
Now, sorry, Agam, I just muted myself so that the echo doesn't happen. But anyways, I think I was just saying that you summed it up well, that that the market read slightly positive. But the beauty about today's trade was that while you had a Kotak Bank and IndusInd Bank do well, it didn't seem like the banks took or propelled the index higher, or Reliance propelled the index higher. There was a bit of cement flavor out there because of Ultratech numbers. So that did well. IT continues to do well. I mean, a theme that you track so closely has just done fabulously well in today's session as well. And I think autos participated in a big way today. I mean, the escorts read through for Mahindra and Mahindra, or the expectations of a good number from Maruti in the month of July, leading to that stock higher. So I think that entire set of names did extremely well. I think mid-cap pharma stocks, I mean, and Laurus and Markson are just one example. It's Markson's Pharma, but and there's just a couple of examples, but some of the others too in the mid-cap pharma pack did very well. And I mentioned Escorts. There's a Deepak Fertilizers, and we've seen what's happened to some of the fertilizer names, the results, right? These numbers come out on Friday. It's one of the 2 manufacturers of IPA, which is used in sanitizers. So these rural focus and specific pockets also did extremely well for themselves in the session today. But the beauty is, as I think somebody said on Twitter, that you want to, the Nifty told Reliance today that, hey, I'm Atmanirbhar in a sense, because I don't depend only on you for moving up. At times I can move up without you as well. Yesterday was one such day. Though Reliance did okay, but I think the leadership just took a bit of a shift. But Aga, I think the beauty is that despite the fact that a lot of people believe that yesterday's corrective move could have been the start of something more sinister, the fact that the world markets did okay and we have this propellants within us just augurs well. Let's see how long does this last.
Thank you so much for that perspective. Because there's some very valid points out there which Neeraj has made, and we are looking at participation beyond Reliance Industries to push the Nifty forward and to bring it to 11,300. That brings me to the levels. Now we're inching in towards the 11,500 mark. There is still a lot of writing, and there are a couple of days left for expiry. So that begs the question whether or not we see the Nifty stay here, or do we see a movement on either side of things? On the lower end, we don't have much to worry about. 10,500 is far away, and certainly looks very improbable that that can get captured in the next couple of days. But where we are watching out for 11,500, 11,000 on the lower end, 11,500 on the upper end, which means that the range is narrowed. But how much further can the Nifty go? Because it certainly proved a lot of traders wrong who were betting against the Nifty staying below 11,000, 11,100, because right now it's at 11,003. So it's something that we need to keep an eye on as to how things span out over the next few days. And these levels will be important for the benchmarks. The fact that we are having a lot more participation across the board on the Nifty 50, well, it's proof that it seems at this point the markets do want to edge up higher. How much higher do they go before this week's expiry is anyone's guess, but we'll be keeping an eye on some of these factors. Well, on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.